Good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing well out there. Hope everyone is having a great time wherever they are in the world. I am Andrew Esquire, and welcome to the Legal Mindset, where we help you be your own judge. And guys, we have a lot of facts, we have a lot of fiction, we have a lot of propaganda to go through today. Guys, welcome to the channel. If it is your first time here, please make sure you're smashing that like button. And if it's your 20th time here, if you are addicted to this trial coverage, make sure you smash the like button, because it really does help us in the algorithm and helps everybody else who's out there looking for information. So guys, as always, please let me know where you're from in the chat. I see all of you today. Some of you are already dropping it here in the chat. It is good to see people from around the world. This is my new permanent showtime. So I will be doing a show pretty much all the time at this time from now on. During the trial, after the trial, this is the time, because this has been a great slot for me, and everybody around the world has been here turning out to support. So let's see. We got Poland. What's up? Cześć. London. What's up? We got Vegas. What's up? Lebanon. We got Germany. Vigets. We got Denmark, we got Texas. I'll be in Texas in a week or so. New Zealand. We got India, Finland. Let's see, we got Maine, Cape Town, Aussies, UK, France. We got everybody around the world here today. Belgium, I got people from Belgium. Shanghai. What's up, JP? Hopefully you guys aren't crazy lockdown right now. It's insane. Mephisto, hey man. A pleasure to be streaming for you guys. Seriously, freaking pleasure to be streaming for you guys. Ireland, Stockholm, Norway, Insomniacs from Oregon, thank you. And no matter who you are, appreciate it so much that you're following me today. It's been crazy. It's been busy. And already there's a lot to cover. I mean, just starting out with this stuff. I also see Austria, South Carolina, North Carolina, Durham, UK, Raleigh, NC, Indiana, Arizona. Awesome. Nettie is a shout out from Oregon. Says, good morning from Oregon. Appreciate the coverage by legal experts. Yes, Nettie, there are so many legal experts today. So I am going to be the earliest, I guess, because I'm really here in Seoul, South Korea. I'm in Gangnam, reporting to you Gangnam style here in Korea. So I am definitely up. It is 6:04 p.m. here. So during this week, during this trial week, I will be the first one up. So if you want to start your day with me, we'll kick it to other channels. So I may try to set up my stream to dump into the other channels. So all you've got to do is tune in here, and then I'll just dump my viewers into another one of the law tubers, and whoever's up and whoever's streaming at the time, and you guys will be able to continue viewing. Now, Friday, I may do something a little bit different. We'll talk about it Wednesday or Thursday, but I may do at least a partial. I'm thinking about doing a little bit of a closing argument watch. But we will see about that, and we'll see how that goes down. I'm just thinking about it right now. I'm not convinced, but it may happen. And what's up, Israel, Wyoming, England? Shout out to you guys there too. So today, the main topics we're going to get into, and our main topic today is the most unexpected move by Amber Heard's team. They made a crazy choice, it seems. And we're going to discuss that here. And I'm going to discuss something that I don't think I've heard from any other law tuber, any other commenter, which is the best arguments giving this honestly insane move by Amber Heard's legal team. So we're going to discuss that today. Not clickbait, 100% facts. And I know that DUI guy and Joe Neerman on the line. DUI guy already ended his stream. I think Joe had a stream up for a while. I'm not sure whether it's still up or not, but we'll check in on that before we stop the show. We'll do that at the end. Susie says, I'm super excited for today's court session. Today is going to be crazy. Honestly, today is going to be really crazy, because I can't even predict what's going to happen today. And I can't even predict what's going to happen completely. So you guys got to tune in today. It's going to be great. Cheers from Canada. I'm going to bed. Hey, cheers, Canada. Thank you so much. Appreciate you stopping by, Milos, and hope you catch the trial. Now, I will also be back after the trial. So for those that may be staying up, maybe watch the whole thing, I'll also have a stream after the trial as well. So you guys are going to get pretty much round-the-clock coverage here on this today. So let's start with some of the memes before I get into anything too serious, because on my channel, this is the Legal Mindset. We like to have fun. We like to enjoy ourselves. We like to laugh. You guys, a lot of you guys sent me some fire memes, some great memes on my Twitter, which is at The Legal Mindset. You can also send them to my Instagram, which is at Esquire International. You can also, if you really wanted to, email them to me. Some people email me some videos. I always find the right time to play the videos. Sometimes videos can get long, but that's helpful as well. My email, andrewesquirelive@gmail.com. So let's jump right into that. You guys are going to be fucking rolling right now with some of these memes because they are fire. I'm not going to lie. All right. So what do we got right here? So, sorry. Okay. So these are actually line cutters. This is not a meme, but just to show you guys real quick, these are actually people who are cutting in the line. So if you don't know, there were these line cutters. They actually led to the meme Justice for the Line. So these are the girls that were line cutting. So, you see their faces there. Of course, they're recording right back. And you see them right here. This is the group. And the funny thing is, it's usually the Amber Turd supporters that are the line cutters. It's usually the Amber Turd supporters. But I don't know whether they've confirmed whether these are or are not Amber Turd supporters. All right, so we got the first one here. Graffiti artist, Cesar, does Amber Heard. It's pretty good. I like this one. I actually like this one a lot. Very, very good. So I think that's a solid meme. I give that a 4 out of 10. By the way, I'm drinking today, guys. My drink of choice for the stream is Cass, brought to you by Korean beer. So this is about a liter. This is a liter right here. So I'll be trying to get through this today on the stream with you guys because we like to have a nice drink to start off the day. It's 6 o'clock here, so no shame in the game. So it's a good meme right there. This one is a personal favorite for me. Camille Vasquez, Amber Heard, LawTube. I'll tell you right now, LawTube likes to watch. LawTube definitely likes to watch. SoCal Chris says, hey, brother, hope you are well. The mainstream media got to hate that the masses are being educated with a constant stream of competent lawyers. Yes, 100%. And by the way, we're going to talk about this. So this meme is funny, but there's some seriousness here. And the seriousness is that the mainstream media is salty as hell at Johnny and Johnny's supporters, and there is more hate. I know that a lot of people covered the Vogue and the Vox article. I covered it on my channel as well, but there is more hate and more propaganda from the Amber Turd stans. More hate, but we'll cover that. We're going to get to that. So this is a solid meme though. Next, snorting coke from tampon applicators got me like, yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. By the way, this definitely does qualify as a mega pint. This is definitely a mega pint. I don't have a glass big enough for this. Also, guys, yeah, there's 2,862 of you, 2,900, almost 3,000 right now. Please smash that like button as you're coming in, guys. I really appreciate that a lot. Helps us out big time. All right, next, Johnny Depp. Can't see any bruises. Still can't see him. Scratch on the head in court, but no bruises. All right, next we got me. I hope the price of gas doesn't get too crazy. The price of gas. This one actually made me laugh. By the way, guys, I'm in America. I'm not in America. I'm in Korea. The price of gas has been pretty constant here, a little tick up, but not as huge as in America. It's really gone crazy in the U.S. For those that are in America, maybe you don't get that context. But this is good. This is real good. Thank you, guys. And last one. This is I don't know whether this is a meme. This is reality. This is reality. So you've literally got a Starbucks that has Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and you're seeing who likes what here. Is anybody surprised about this? Is anybody surprised in this? Yeah. I'm not. I'm not surprised at that at all whatsoever. So those are the good memes today. Guys, make sure you smash that like button on the way in. Like I said, it is hilarious. It is hilarious. And what's up to those joining right now? I see some more from Australia. I see some more from Poland. What's up? Good to see everybody in the chat. Okay, so let's start with the drama, because this trial is not just about in-courtroom drama. There is so much out of the courtroom drama. And I think this drama is all leading up to this week, is all leading up to the insanity this week. Expect there to be an insane amount of articles this week. Expect the mainstream media to pump out the worst lies this week. It's coming. Trust me, they are going to gaslight you on what you see today. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So here's one of the actual tweets that's deranged, but let me get this one here. Bad Vibe says, a mega pint is 1 million pints, and Amber Turd will likely become a Walmart greeter. By the way, Oregon. What's up, Bad Vibes in Oregon? So here is some of the hate that has come Johnny's way. So let me show this to you guys here. We've got this one from Denise. So this is some hate. So once again, there is this movement to paint all of you. And yes, I mean all of you, not just me, the law tuber here, right? But you guys as misogynist, white nationalist, far right, extremist, Russian bots who hate all women, even though the majority of you are women, but you hate yourselves. So don't forget that. So they're coming after Depp. They're coming after Depp, and they're coming after his choice in a relationship. So look at this. And they're saying her big mistake was falling in love at 25 with an older, temporarily sober, charismatic movie star who love bombed her. So, it's because he love bombed her. That's it. Once again, these buzzwords here, right? This is definitely a 2022, 2021 buzzword for sure. Now she has to face him every day as he laughs at her pain, humiliating her in public every day. Litigation abuse is horrific. Hashtag I stand with her. So this is what they post. So they post the wedding photo. Oh, look at that. Look at that. See how great it is. And then they post Johnny Depp laughing and Heard crying, as if Johnny Depp was laughing at the exact same time as Amber Turd was crying. We all know that this scene did not happen objectively at the same time as this. Johnny Depp did not look like this when Amber was like this. But when you take an Instagram or Facebook or Twitter post and you crop it like this, it makes it look like Johnny Depp was laughing at her crying, which was not true. And by the way, Johnson & Johnson, baby, I don't see no tears. And then they bring up this text. And honestly, this text is not a good look. It's not a good look. But you have to understand that this text is coming after years of abuse. And let's assume it's accurate, right? Let's assume it's accurate. This text does not look good. And I'll read it, guys. And this is a pretty vulgar text. I never apologize for cursing on my channel. If you're new to my channel, sorry, this is a curse, friendly zone. I'm going to swear here. I do what I want. It's my channel. So I'm going to read the words. If it bothers you, I'm sorry, but this is the text. I'm reading it, doing it my way. So she's begging for total global humiliation. She's going to get it. I'm going to need your text about San Francisco, brother. I'm even sorry to ask, but she sucked mollusks, referring to Elon Musk, crooked dick, and he gave her some shitty lawyers. Well, this is true. Let me stop there. Musk, who was sleeping with her during their relationship, during their marriage, actually is bankrolling her. This is pretty accurate here. We know that Daddy Musk is bankrolling her, but let's continue. I have no fear, no mercy, no fear, and not an ounce of emotion or what I thought was love for this gold-digging, low-level, dime-a-dozen, mushy, pointless, dangling, overused, fleshy, flappy fish market. I am so fucking happy she wants to fight this out. She will hit the wall hard. And I can't wait to have this waste of a cum guzzler out of my life. I met fucking sublime little Russian here, which made me realize the time I blew on that 50-cent stripper, I wouldn't touch her with a goddamn glove. And I can hope that karma kicks in and takes the gift of breath from her. Sorry, man, but now I will stop at nothing. Let's see if Mollusk has a pair. Come see me face to face. I'll show him things he's never seen before, like the other side of his dick when I slice it off. Okay, yeah, that's pretty aggressive. Honestly, no cap. That's really aggressive. Let's be honest. That is really aggressive. Okay? But this is Johnny Depp after dealing with literally years of abuse from Amber Heard. You got to understand that. And when he's figured out that he's been essentially cucked by Elon Musk and Franco. at this point. Oh, and let's not forget Cara Delevingne as well. Miss Popo, Mrs. Popo, Kema Rudin says, "Oh no, me a bot? Yes, you too are a bot. You two are a bot. You all are bots, guys. Remember that. Remember that." So it's hard language, but does that mean that Amber Heard is not culpable here? This propaganda leads us to believe and is trying to paint this picture that Amber Heard is a saint, that she's done nothing wrong, that she might as well be canonized. But the facts we're seeing objectively at the trial paint a more complicated picture. Both of them have a history with drugs. Let's be real about that. But Amber has a clear history of abuse. That's something that differentiates her wildly from Mr. Depp. Bad Vibe says, as a comic game and media fan, I have been alt-right istophobe for half a decade. And, I want to mention this real quick for you guys, because some of you guys are new to this channel. Pastor Flash, thank you for the dollars. Some of you are new to this. And some of you, this is the first time you're maybe coming to my channel, the first time you're here, the first time you've seen something like this happen. For many people, this is the first time they've really realized when they're looking at the newspaper. If you're in Australia, you're looking at the mainstream news over there, or the UK, Ireland. We had a UK, someone from the UK on my last stream. Jordy, great stream. Check that out if you haven't. And he pointed out, UK periodicals, they're all for UK mainstream media, all for, by the majority, for Amber Heard. But when you guys are watching it, you're seeing something different. And you're seeing these articles, you're seeing these people coming out and pushing this information. Pastor Flash, again, $2 for 2 million. Thank you so much. And $2 million pledge. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, it's just facts that we're seeing them try to enter, which aren't there. They're not there. They're not in the record. The next thing I have here gets even worse. It gets even worse, guys. So we've now got accusations that you're ists and phobes and all that. But then we go on here and we've got this right here from, this is from Weiner. Apparently this is being sent to people with large followings to smear us and spread misinformation about the case. So here we go. Here's what it says. It's from an anonymous user. So it says, "Now, I'm sure that you're aware of the recent Depp versus Heard trial. I'm writing you this mail to write research about the propaganda and misinformation smear campaign that Depp has used against Amber. As a victim of grape myself," by the way, we're saying grape here because this will get us in trouble. "It hurts how the general public victim blames Amber and thinks she lied when a simple Google search proves otherwise." Actually, no, it doesn't. If you look up any information, it doesn't. Although I will say this guys, make sure this is very important. Google is suppressing a lot of pro-Johnny information. This is true. So Google is suppressing it. I will actually say that. I'll come out and say that. Google's algorithm is suppressing it. Even though it gets a lot of clicks, they're suppressing it below the mainstream media stuff. And that's mostly because Google promotes mainstream media publications. That's because they can pay to get their articles ranked higher in the Google search. And of course, anybody can do this, but who has the largest ability to do that? Not simple law tubers. No, not us. We're not paying Google, hundreds of thousands of dollars for that. But large companies are. News networks are. Absolutely. If you see on Twitter itself, there's so many pro-Depp people with 500K plus likes, which seems very unnatural and seems his PR team is using a bot farm to brainwash the general public into supporting him. So all of you guys are bots. All of the likes on these videos, all 100K plus likes on videos that we're getting now, 1 million views on certain videos, on certain streams. Those are all bots. All the comments, thousands of comments I'm getting. You guys are all bots? That's ridiculous. I also request you go look at TikTok, Reddit, or other social sites, and you'll find so many viral posts which are misinformation supported Depp. You know what's funny about this? With TikTok, you have to show yourself. Most people show themselves, show their face on TikTok. How can you call somebody a bot if you see their face? How is that possible? That makes no sense. That is ridiculous. This is a preposterous argument. So saying, I'm also sending you a code at GitHub, which I found from Twitter, which outputs Depp smear campaign using bots and other related stuff to this bot farms. I beg you to please look into this. And if you can't, then maybe forward it to one of your colleagues who can research about it further. You know what's funny? Let me finish reading this. But it would be really helpful, not only for me, but also for so many survivors of domestic abuse who are getting anxieties looking at the response from Depp stans and the general public regarding this trial. You know what? You know, I think because of that, I'm just going to have to put my Depp stan right there. You go. So Depp stan, we're there. We got it. We got it marked because everybody is a bot and a Depp stan. So there we go. So that's it, guys. We're all bots. You guys are bots. Everybody's bots. It's a big bot campaign. You guys are fake. This is all fake. All of you watching me right now, all the chats coming in right now, 100% fake, right? Milo says, Vogue wrote an article titled Amber Heard Deserves to be Believed, and it has to be the dumbest thing I've ever read in my entire life. These people are delusional. Milos, I actually read that on my previous stream. So if you want to check that out, it's about 2 streams ago. I read that article. I think I'm trying to clip that out. So I may have a clip that's coming out with this article in it, the Vogue and the Vox article as well. But we've read those, and those articles are horrible. The Vogue and the Vox articles are horrible. They are propaganda. Many of the other law tubers have read them as well, and they're absolute crap. They have no factual basis, no basis in the evidence that we've seen in court. And to be objective, my standard objectively is, what have we seen in court? Or what other proof can we have? Visual proof, tangible proof, proof that we can actually trace with our eyes and ears, that we can look back on, we can think on. What proof do we have on Amber's side? It's not too much at this point. Rosalie says she didn't expect Johnny to call her bluff. We will be heard. Yes, I think she didn't expect Johnny to take this to court. I saw somebody said, I am Russian, right? You know, so obviously bot. Yep. Beep boop. You got me. Love you guys. You guys are hilarious. They're fembots. Yes. Ooh, I remember fembots from Austin Powers. I'm okay with fembots, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm a fan of the fembots. Terry Hyde says, good morning from England. Been waiting for you. Welcome from jolly old England. Good to see you here. Bavarian Kingdom says Johnny Depp's ex-wife knows he's not who people think he is. Yes, Kate Moss, right? I mean, I think you're talking about Kate Moss. And if they bring Kate Moss to the stand, which they may, that'd be very, very interesting. Lord Jasper 1988 says, yo, just found your stream 10 minutes behind. Hi from Teesside, England. Gonna join the late gay Nick later. Yes. Should be fun with Nick. You'll have fun with Nick, guys. He's a great guy. I'm on there for a lot. Guled Youssef says, here in Norway, the media is for Amber. Exactly. It's not Guled. It's not just Amber. Guys, wherever you are in the world, if the media is for Amber where you live, I want an A in the chat. If the media is for Johnny where you live, I want a J in the chat. You guys are around the world. Let's see if there's A's or J's. A, if the media is for Amber, not you, but the media. J, if it's for Johnny. Let's do the poll right now in the chat. I want to see this, guys, because I think my sneaking suspicion is we're going to get almost all A's, right? Okay, so Star said, well, J. So we have one person who says J. So I'm wondering where they're from. Right? If you put J, you might also want to tell me where you're from. That also might be helpful. A, Netherlands. Okay. New Zealand is definitely pro Amber. A, got a J here from Nettie. Nettie says J. Okay. So A, J in Florida. Okay. Well, that may make sense because Florida's a little bit more based. Maybe it's possible. J, Canada, A. Got a J from Good Golly. Okay. It's possible. Possible. I know there are some Florida periodicals that are not crap, so it's possible. Jonathan Diago said, bot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. You guys make me laugh, guys. Seriously. Let me read a super chat here that I missed. It kind of flew by. So this one is from Hannah Warner, which says, so glad I didn't have to sign to solve the Find the Crosswalks puzzle, security puzzle, so I can send another donation. #bot. Love it. Max Mira said, with a 250 yen super chat says, probably with bias, use DuckDuckGo for search, big difference. Yes. Dutchy says, really wonder how the media will react after Johnny wins the case. Are they going to take this serious or double down with stupid takes? Amber Heard simping. Dutchy, I'm going to say this, Dutchy. I think, here's what I think. If Johnny Depp wins, the media will be split. I think some media is so committed to the narrative, they cannot back down. Think about Vox, Vogue. I'm going to show you even the New York Post. I'm about to show you a New York Post article, which is crazy. They have doubled down on this insanity, this insane narrative that everybody supporting Johnny is a misogynist, is a white nationalist, is a crazy person. And because of that, I think they can't backpedal. But there are some mainstream outlets that will just see the tide, see it's against Amber, and they'll abandon ship. Some people, some corporations are actually rational. And you know what? If they think about the monetary side, there's a market for the truth out there. That's why y'all are watching us on LawTube, because we are actually telling the truth. And we're just reporting on what we see at the trial and giving our legal analysis and our kind of legal best guesstimate on things that are going on at the trial. Tamara Holloway says, $2 super chat says, same folk who about dehumanizing calls us bots. That's exactly right. So on one hand, they will call you a white nationalist misogynist. On the other hand, you're a bot. You're not even human. So, I mean, you're just completely reduced as a person, which that's not very nice now, is it? Jojo Hey Hey for $2 says, when is Amber's next moves topic discussed, please? Oh, I'm going to discuss that in a second, guys. We're getting to that. We build up to the climax here, to the crescendo, right? And I'll just give it right away. And guys, there's still people coming in the chat. Smash that like button. That helps me know you guys like this type of topic. Steven says, we are all Russian Cybermen. Jordan T sent a $2 super chat. Thank you. Easy said, the peeps for Johnny, the media for Amber. Yes. Steve says, Jay, how are there even A's? Well, we're talking about the media, not you yourself. Reese says, why did the bailiff escort Heard out before the judge's recess? Well, we really don't know, but could have been that Amber indicated she wanted to leave. It could have been that she had some comment that's off mic that we don't know about. There could have been some reason. We don't have a full reason as to why the bailiff escorted Heard out of the room. It seemed like she was running out of the room, and her temperament did not seem good as she was leaving. Of course, she just got ribbed by Camille for several hours, so there's that. TJ for $2 says, if Johnny Depp wins, the Me Too era is over. I don't think it's over, but I do think it might be coming into question. I came inside says, does anyone in the chat think Amber Heard fine though? So we got someone simping for Amber Heard. Tracy says, listen to full audio. Yes, we will always listen to full audio when I listen to audio. If I've got audio to play, I will listen to full audio. So guys, let me show you one more article before we get into the crazy move that Amber's team is going to pull, right? So here's the one thing here. One last article. So we read the Vox article. We read the Vogue article. But I just want to point this out to you guys. Point this out, that Amber Heard supporters bombarded with misogynistic hate from Johnny Depp fans. So we've got literally comments here and periodicals saying that it's all misogyny. So let's read a little bit of what they're saying here. So they're saying now with both sides having testified, although Heard's defense remains open, and what they forget here is Johnny has a rebuttal, Wrapped viewers are publicly throwing their support between one or the other using hashtags. So here they are. Here's Amber. But while one can't predict who will prevail in court, some believe it's Depp who's winning the social media campaign, as tag videos for the Pirates of the Caribbean star are currently pulling in 12 billion views on TikTok alone. The vocal support has also reared its impolite head in the hallowed legal halls of Fairfax, Virginia, where gaggles of female fans have gathered for Depp, according to Law and Crime's Jesse Weber. And now I'm just going to say, guys, LawTube, and for those that are new to LawTube, we are not a big fan of Law and Crime, and I'm going to explain a little bit of the lore here for LawTube, because some of you may not know this, but Law and Crime has attempted to take several of our streams down in LawTube. They're a big media corporation. They are a YouTube channel, but they're a big media corporation. They are supported by a multi-channel network. Think of a media network. And they are absolutely tied in with the mainstream media. And they do not like that smaller creators or creators on YouTube, independent creators that are not beholden to corporate interests. They hate that we are getting our voice out there and we are being heard. And they hate that for previous trials, we have been very popular on YouTube. So streams like Legal Bites, streams like Nick Rekieta have been under threat. Or Rekieta Law is his channel. But Rekieta Law, Legal Bites have been under threat from law and crime. So we oftentimes call them law and cuck because they are absolutely ridiculous. They try to copyright strike our videos. They try to copyright strike our streams. If we ever were to use their feed, even though the feed is public, it's accessible to all, it's supposed to be given out to any network, anyone that wants to use it. The only thing is they get the permission to have their camera in the court, and they're supposed to give out access to everybody else. But they don't do that, and they don't share well and play well nice with others. So there's a little bit of a beef there. So those that are new, you now know that beef. So I do take some stuff when I hear reports from them with a grain of salt, if you will. They say it's majority women. When Heard was testifying, I overheard a lot of people snickering, making snide comments and laughing. In fact, I observed one of the court officers telling them to quiet down and show respect to the witness on the stand. Well, I mean, maybe if she wasn't like lying openly, then it wouldn't be as funny. But yeah. In fact, bad headlines associated with the circus of a trial reportedly prompted her to fire her public relations firm midway. So literally, it's working. Heard is getting salty. Meanwhile, Heard fans with TikTok views allegedly amounting to comparative 44 million, so nobody is there, have allegedly endured sexist trolls on social media who seek to silence her side of the story. One woman said she blocked 13,000 threatening Twitter users since the start of the trial. Hashtag I stand with Amber advocate Katie Diaz, who first voiced her support for the Aquaman alum on May 4th, claims she has received hundreds of very disturbing and threatening messages, hinted at the coordinated attack on women. Once again, I love how this is an attack on women, even though they literally say in the former paragraph that the majority of people supporting Depp are women. It's just very interesting here how they want to have it both ways. They want to say, okay, you're all misogynist, but you're majority. It's just very funny how this works. And for those that are new to this, I'm not surprised because they always do this. It's their standard move, but it's very interesting. None of us have said that men can't be victims. It's still vastly men who are the abusers. Once again, is this data, this claim, very spurious? Men do not feel comfortable coming forward. A lot of men stay silent. We really don't have the data on how many men are abused because they stay silent. We shame men for speaking up. We shame men. So this is the article. That is the post coming for all of you guys. Coming for all of you guys. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. All right, let me get through some of these super chats here, and then we're going to get, once we finish these this batch of super chats, I'm going to run right into the crazy move that Amber Heard's team is making. So we got one from Nat Oliver for $7.99, which says, Guardian Australia says hashtag Me Too is over if we don't listen to imperfect victims like Amber Heard. I educated them that she is no victim, but a perpetrator. Thank you, Nat. You are doing the Lord's work. NKS432 says, Elaine is so bad at her job. I wish there was something like ineffective assistance counsel on the civil side. Well, you could file a bar complaint, but I mean, I think Amber may, if she loses, she'll bring up that argument. I guarantee you, if she loses. Amber is not the type of person that takes a loss well. Max Mura for 1,220 yen, Japanese yen, says mildly interesting. In 2019, Johnny Depp played a cucked professor in The Professor who finds he has terminal cancer and decides to go YOLO. Couldn't help but notice the similarities to real life. Sometimes art imitates life and sometimes life imitates art. And in this case, we've seen Amber Heard. Heard has repeatedly used phrases from movies. She's also used plot lines from movies. She's used plot lines from books. She's used the sexual abuse, the domestic abuse stories of other victims and other people. She's taken their stories and appropriated them and twisted them against Johnny Depp. Bad Vibe says, Amber's biggest mistake was pointing out social media and hashtags. I wouldn't have done that. Total wine, Coyote level of oof. Or total Wile E. Coyote level of oof. I'm thinking about wine here, guys. Sorry. Steve Booth says, Murdoch Empire is all team turd from the New York Post and Sun. Yes, the Murdoch is hard in the paint for Amber Turd. Lulu says, $10 euro says, here in France, media and general public are all Johnny. Awesome. That is great. Ça va to my people out in France. JJV says, is Jennifer Howell's depo witness? If so, depo equal hearsay. Can it get in? So if we have time at the very end, I want to go over the whole Howell testimony. We may have some guests popping in here in a bit. So when we do, I'll talk to them. But if I have spare time at the end, I may run over the Howell testimony, the Howell deposition, and talk about what may get in on that end. That'll be very interesting because Howell could come in today. Howell could testify today. That's possible. But that is not a surprise. Guled says, predict the verdict. I think both cases to fail. Okay, Guled, that's fair enough. You're making a prediction. I think you're wrong, but you're allowed to make a prediction, and, there you go. Kian Fitzpatrick said, 10 pounds, says, good morning from the UK. I recently started watching you and Rakeda as you showed up on my recommendations while researching Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Been watching your videos religiously. Keep up the amazing work. Guys, I'm not sleeping. I'm barely eating. I'm usually knocking down. I'm here in Korea, Seoul, South Korea. So one of the good things about Asia, if you don't know, that we have this like onigiri, these are great. So these are like a perfect snack. So I'll like knock those out right here. I'll pop one of those and keep going. I'm going from stream to stream. I am literally breathing, eating, and sleeping this. But I am happy to do it for you guys. It is my pleasure. Terry Hyde says, I normally watch Law and Crime. What should I watch instead? Well, you can watch what you want. I'm not going to tell you to stop, but Court TV has it. Sky News, ET Canada has it as well. And ET Canada, I'm going to actually give a little shout out to ET Canada. ET Canada probably has the cleanest feed because their logo is like in the corner and it's very small. It's white. It's almost transparent. So it's kind of like the most logo free. Law and Crime has a giant fucking tramp stamp of a logo on the bottom right-hand side. So, even if it was me, regardless for the drama, like drama aside, Law and Crime has a giant logo that covers like a significant portion of the screen. ET Canada has one that's very transparent. So ET Canada is a good one. You can also watch it from one of the streamers. So Legal Bites. You can watch Legal Bites. Nick Rakeda. You can watch Nick Rakeda. Now, understand, both Legal Bites and Nick Rakeda give commentary. If you don't like commentary, go to a raw stream like ET Canada, Sky News, whatever. You can watch it. I think ET Canada is probably the cleanest. So I'm just going to give that as my recommendation. So ET Canada. If you want raw. If you want commentary, Legal Bites or Nick Rakeda. It's kind of pick your poison. Nick Rakeda is way more edgy. Legal Bites is very, I think, very straight-laced. It's what your style is. Whatever, pick your poison. Choose your own adventure. Welcome to LawTube. You have lots of options. Amir says, when will you be back to the dark side off the YouTube Fresh and Fit? We'll see. It depends. I'm going to be in Miami, so maybe I'll try to hook up with them when I'm down there. Should be pretty freaking crazy when I'm in Miami. I will be flying back next week, so we will see. Susie says, the power and truth via LegalTube. Yes, a lot of power and truth via LegalTube. Can't Amber's counterclaim be hit by Rule 11? I think it can get dismissed, and that's something we're going to talk about a little bit more with other people, but I think it can dismissed. Reza says, am I right? Johnny has 15 hours available and Amber 6 hours. No, 18 hours for Johnny and 8 hours for Amber. Imatoku says, I'm what they feared. Misogynisty bot Mason. Robert Rogers for 10 says, I was in a relationship with a psychopath just like Amber. If he wins, it'll be vindication of the many men who have beaten and lied by bad women just like her. Women have a free ticket to destroy men. Well, I think the thing is, it's a perception. There shouldn't be a free ticket. It should be equal for everybody. Every crime, regardless of gender, should be equally investigated. And every person, regardless of gender, should get equal due process. That's what I believe. Everybody, no matter their gender, should get the same treatment. We don't have that, particularly in the court of public opinion. In the court of public opinion, we're not there yet, but this trial has a chance to change things. Elizabeth says, any chance of an interview with the jury after the verdict? It is possible, but a lot of times they're too busy writing their book. Charlie Brown says, I'd do with the New York Post article the same thing Amber Heard did with Johnny Depp's bed. Oh, man. Mix2323 says, finishing uni in Croatia on my way to becoming a lawyer, tried to educate people around me that the innocent are proven guilty when news crucified Johnny after Amber attacked him. Great channel. Thank you. Dutchie said, it would be awesome if Amber Heard's time is up on Wednesday and we get 2 days of Johnny Depp witnesses like Kate Moss and Dr. Muffins. Agree with that one. And last, Lynn says, find out I am a female misogynist, learn something new every day. Right? So got through all those. Guys, 10,000 of you in the chat right now. Please make sure you're smashing the button right now in the chat. Okay, guys, here we go. What you've been waiting for, the title of this thing, the title of the episode, The Unexpected Choice. Let's get into it. So there was a huge unexpected choice by Johnny Depp's legal team. Now, this is still speculative, but I'm going to show my sources. I'm going to show my sources. So right here, we have our girl, Shanley Shaw Painter from Court TV. So Miss Painter, right? And we've talked about Miss Painter before. She's been the source of some controversy. And by the way, I have no beef with her. I actually like her. She is very nice. We've spoken in the DMs. I have her DMs up. She's a very nice girl. But she doesn't respond to everything I ask her. Well, I still got one question out to her that she hasn't responded to. But she's very busy. I get it. But she's very nice. Very cute, very attractive young lady. She's an attorney. She passed the bar in Tennessee and I believe Arkansas. But she said right here, breaking, Johnny Depp will be called on Amber Heard's defense on Monday. What? Now let me explain. You're asking, wait a second, didn't Johnny Depp already testify? Well, yes, he did testify. Yes, Johnny Depp did testify. He did already testify on his own side. He testified in his case. But you have the ability to call the opposing party on your side of the case. Now, why does that matter? Why would you do that? Well, because direct examination can be conducted a little different than cross-examination. In direct examination, you can ask about any topic you want. As long as it's not objectionable, you can ask anything. Anything. So, for example, if you're on cross-examination, and let's say they didn't ask about, I'm just going to make something up. So let's say for Amber, they didn't really get into the Amica cream on direct. Then on cross, you can't ask about it. You cannot ask on cross about something that they didn't ask about on direct. So Camille, when Camille crossed Amber, could not ask about any subject that was not asked about by Elaine. Now, that's interpreted broadly. So, for example, in the case that Amber Heard brought up Johnny Depp's criminal offenses, that opened the door for Amber Heard's criminal offenses to be discussed. That's normal. That's totally normal. But you can't pick a totally different topic. You can't go off wild. Guled says, this is kind of stupid with time and all. Well, that's why it's unexpected, my friends. Stupid is often unexpected. But here's the question. Is it that stupid? We'll get into that because I'm about to make to you guys, and I think everybody else on LawTube is going to say, oh, it's stupid. I actually I thought about this really hard. I came up with the best possible reason why they could call Johnny and what they could do to Johnny to maybe put his case at risk. I came up with something. It took me some thinking, but I did. I did it, guys. I thought about this long and hard. Frank says, fellow American digital nomad living in Turkey. Awesome. I guess I'm a white nationalist since I support Johnny, but I could have sworn I've been black my whole life. On the channel, bro. Keep up the digital grind. Yo, what's up, Frank, man? I love that, man. I love it. And by the way, shout out to my digital nomad. Shout out to people living abroad. Shout out to anybody who is away from their home country. Look, I'm going to say one thing, guys. The life of a digital nomad, the life of an expat, the life of somebody who's living where you weren't born, it can be lonely. But just understand, especially in communities like ours, you are not alone. People are out there to support you, to back you up, and you are living your life and fulfilling your goals and dreams. So I really respect that. So thank you so much for that, Frank. And I'm glad you are the blackest white nationalist I know now, Frank. So guys, what is going on with this? Well, there's one big piece of drama which was brought up by LawTube. And I want to give that before I go into the arguments for and against. So here's Shanleigh's tweet, right? Breaking, Johnny Depp will be called by Amber Heard's defense on Monday. We had a LawTuber. Her name is Emily D. Baker. Some of you may know Emily D. Baker. She is also streaming, right? Now, Emily is very opinionated. If you like Emily's opinions, you'll love her channel. If you don't, well, there's other channels for you, right? But Emily asked a great question. She said, also, didn't the court say no statements to the media? Thinking emoji, right? So how does Shanleigh know this if there's no statements to the media? How do you know this? Very interesting. Why are these statements coming out? Shouldn't this have been something that's contained? And the law student asks this, procrastinating law student asks, can you confirm your source? The popular YouTubers are implying you may have contact with a legal team. This is a big no-no. And of course, after this, you did not see her respond. She did not respond on this one. She stayed silent on this one. And I can't blame her because she could inadvertently have violated the court's prohibition on speaking to the media. That very well may have happened. So, yeah, it's very possible. So that's a piece of drama that we're going to need to see here. And it's very, very, very questionable. But let's talk about the arguments. Okay. I'm going to give you 3 arguments. One is the worst possible thing 3 arguments. One is Johnny Depp's favor, right? The second is the counterclaim argument. And the third is the best damn argument that whoever directs Johnny can make. The best questions they could ask. Okay, so in Johnny's side, the best case for Johnny Depp is that they get him on stand and they ask him about Adam Waldman. Adam Waldman, the attorney, Johnny's attorney. And if they get on stage, and they get on in court, not on stage, they get there and they start asking about Adam Waldman and what he talked about with Adam Waldman. They get to object. Johnny's team can object to any conversation between Johnny and Adam Waldman. That is all attorney-client privilege. Now, the mainstream media is trying to make it seem like attorney-client privilege is hiding something. It is not. It is your right as an American to keep your conversations with your attorney private. You can discuss strategy, tactics, different ways to handle things, the outcome that you want, right? You can discuss all of that freely with your attorney without having to worry about it coming out in court and looking bad for you and being used against you. That's an amazing thing about our system. The United Kingdom has a similar right. I talked to Jordy in the UK the other day, and he confirmed, yes, attorney-client privilege there too. I think any system, if it wants to be just, needs attorney-client privilege. So that would be the best thing, because despite the fact that the media tries to paint it as suspect, it's not. And furthermore, the jury cannot consider anything that was said under attorney-client privilege. So they can't even take as fact the questions. They literally have to throw out all questions with an attorney-client privilege objection. They cannot consider them. That would be the best case for Johnny. If whoever's crossing, in the best case would be Elaine because she's incompetent. But if Elaine gets up there and asks a bunch of attorney-client privileges, you hear that objection, attorney-client privilege, attorney-client privilege, attorney-client privilege. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. It's going to be horrible. That's the pro Johnny scenario. 2 more scenarios, right? So that's number 1 of 3. Here's number 2. The second scenario is that somebody competent gets up there, not Elaine, and asks questions about the counterclaims that they can get something in there about the counterclaims. Some shred, because right now they have nothing to prove Amber's counterclaim. Remember, the counterclaim is that Depp, through Waldman, made statements which damaged her. But they haven't been able to connect Depp to Waldman. They've got to close that link, close that gap. So if they're able to get anything in, if they're able to break attorney-client privilege, how could they do that? Well, maybe Depp has made other statements that mirror those. Maybe he's entered into either information or text. Maybe there's some secret document out there that we haven't seen yet. Now, I'm going to be real with you. At this point in the trial, I honestly cannot tell you with a straight face that I believe there's a secret document out there. I can't tell you that with a straight face. But is it possible? I guess sure, it's possible. It's possible that during the trial, aliens abduct everybody in the courtroom. That's a possibility. It's not probable, though. It's not likely. I don't believe it's likely. We have a secret document. We have something secret that's ambushing us at this point in the trial. I really don't believe that. So that second argument, it's there. It exists. It's better than the Johnny's best case scenario. It's the middle ground, but it's not great. And the probability of success is not great. But there's one more argument. There's one argument that I think would be the best and the most damning against Johnny. It would be the most lethal against Johnny's case. See, Elaine, the Amber Heard team has been focused so far. They've been insane about proving their counterclaims. But at this point, if they were to have the forethought to say, look, we are not getting $100 million. That was psycho. Psycho. Let's just abandon all hope of getting the counterclaims. Let's throw that away. Let's completely throw away the counterclaims. So in the strategy, in their minds, they're saying we're abandoning it. Now, they don't have to tell the court, oh, we're giving up this argument. The judge or the jury can just throw it out themselves, just ignore the counterclaims. And by the way, as I predicted last Friday, I believe the counterclaims will be thrown out. But they need to focus on defeating Johnny's claim because Johnny has 3 claims. 2 involve abuse, just general abuse, which can be physical or verbal. That is debatable. We have some evidence that a reasonable jury might be able to construe as abuse. Particularly, we just read that statement. Okay, yeah, people could say that's abuse and therefore maybe not defamatory. But the sexual part, the sexual violence, the sexual allegations, we have nothing to prove those are true. We have nothing to prove those statements by Amber were true at all whatsoever. The bottle incidents, the grabbing her by the pelvic bone, we have no proof of that. The best possible thing they could do is get Johnny on the stand and get some sort of action from Johnny, some sort of interaction with Johnny that can be construed as sexual violence. If they can get something, anything from Depp that they can construe as sexual violence, they may be able to defeat that third claim. If they can get something that Amber didn't say, see, here's the problem. We're focused on the insane claims, the outrageous claims of Amber Heard. But wait a second, we're in court. We don't just take the testimony of Amber Heard. We can look at Johnny's testimony. And let's say they can get him on the stand and he can admit that maybe he grabbed her boob. Maybe he touched her where he shouldn't have touched her. Maybe he grabbed her butt. Maybe he did something else that can be construed as sexual violence. Anything in an interaction with Amber Heard that can be construed as sexual violence, he might be able to defeat that claim. I think it's much better to focus on defeating Johnny's claim than attacking and then trying to go for gold with the counterclaim. The counterclaim is the Hail Mary at the last second when you're so far behind. But defeating his claim, that's the path they might get a victory on. Now, do I think that's likely? No, I don't. I actually think that Amber Heard has exerted such insane control over her team that she's going to be focused on the counterclaims. I really do. However, I think that'd be the best possible argument. They're not going to make it, but that's my 2 cents, guys, on that crazy move. Ian says, do you have an evil twin named Illegal Mindset? It's actually my backup channel, which I haven't started yet. JK Wynn says, missed my chat yesterday at the end of the stream. All good, though. When Amber Heard runs out of time, can't cross, get ready for gaslighting and screeching with no explanation. Yes. Let me catch these super chats that have come in. Also, JK Wynn, I'll get yours from yesterday because I've actually got yesterday's pulled up. So if I ever miss your super chats, guys, just let me know and I will go back and get it. JK Wynn yesterday said, I'm saying if she wanted to win the case. So he said at the end, JK said, her claims were so extreme to be unbelievable. I'm saying if she wanted to win the case. So those are 2 super chats he did yesterday at the end. So I'm reading those again here today. Okay, so thank you, JK Wynn. JJV says, but who cares if he told Waldman the truth? Well, it cares for defamation purposes because then you'd have a factual basis to go forward with a defamation claim. JJV said, the attorney is not thinking about attorney BS. They know Waldman told the truth and Johnny did too. Done. Who cares? You lawyers think imp and jury not think. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So JJV, I'm making the best lawyer argument. I agree with you. I actually do agree with you. Juries think emotionally. Juries do think emotionally. So there's an emotional argument that the jury will just believe Johnny and side with him. But we're giving you all the arguments. Unlike the mainstream media, I can make an argument for the other side. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's going to prevail, but I can make the best argument on the other side. They have the inability to do that, to see the other side. I'm telling you that's the best argument, regardless of whether the jury buys it. I'm not saying they will. Elizabeth says, isn't Shanley in court Friday? Maybe she overheard it. She might have, but here's the thing. She's not supposed to be reporting on it. She's supposed to keep a lot of these things under wraps. Charlie Brown says, Elaine will ask about attorney-client privilege topics. Want to bet? No, I'm not going to bet because I think I'll lose that. JJF said it's definitely, it's not definite if it's true. It's not defamation if it's true. He did an abbreviation, DEF. So, yeah, I mean, it is definitely not defamation if it's true. Truth, guys, is always a defense. It's always a defense in these claims, 100% of the time. So just remember that. Truth is always, 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 always a defense. All right, guys, so here's what I'm going to do. I want to read through the bombshell, because I did not finish this, the Howell Declaration. So who is Jennifer Howell? Jennifer Howell is a potential bombshell witness for Johnny Depp's team. Potential massive witness. Could really nuke the case, pull apart all of Amber Heard's case. And she had a declaration. The problem is this declaration was in writing. So when we go through it, we're going to try to pick apart what is hearsay, what is not hearsay. How could they get that in? David Riley says, bought a bottle of JD's favorite wine to toast his success on closing. Apparently bots also spending big money on wine too. Amazing. Guys, Victoria Preston said, There are 11,000 of us on here. We need more support and likes. Get it to 7,000. Support it, like it, guys. Really, seriously, that helps you. That helps me more than anything. It's the likes and the shares and the supports. Getting this message out there, getting the truth out there is all I ever want to stand for. Is all I ever want to do. Is really about getting the truth out there. Here we go. I'm going to pull up the Howell Declaration, and we're going to go through that right now. It's in a PDF. So this is a PDF of the Howell Declaration, which was submitted to the court, but once again, it is not entered into evidence, guys. So here it is right here. This is in the Circuit Court of Fairfax County. So you've got that right here, guys. I hope you guys can hold on. Let me see. Let me share that differently because that did not work the way I wanted it to work, guys. Sometimes this system is a little bit funky. There we go. Okay. So now you guys should see this. So in the Circuit Court of Fairfax County. So you've got Jennifer Howell, who declares, I am over the age of 18 and not a party to this action. I have firsthand personal knowledge of the facts below, and if called for a witness, could completely testify thereto. Whitney Henriquez, whose maiden name was Whitney Hurd, is my dear friend. She told me that I am her chosen sister. I also call her chosen sister. Whitney worked for me at a nonprofit that I founded 22 years ago and run called The Art of Elysium. We take artists and help them be of service to communities in need. We serve over 30,000 individuals in need each year. Whitney volunteered for the organization in 2014 for about 6 months. And she worked full-time as a paid employee for me in 2015 and 2016, where Whitney served as the art salon manager and director. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the tea, give you the drama. There is some scuttlebutt. You might say a little bit of talk around the water cooler, that this was actually a sex front. That's right. It was sort of a madame service here. So where they were taking artists, starving artists, and having them perform sexual services. Of course, I have not seen any proof that that's actually legitimate. People point to the wording here, but once again, no proof. I haven't seen it. I'm just telling you the tea, the scuttlebutt, right? It's not coming from me. It's just out there in the world. So I'm letting you know what the rumors are. Going on, it says, I have learned that Whitney testified in court July 23rd in London about a violent incident in 2015 on the stairs at Johnny Depp's penthouse. So this part is in court. So she can testify about court statements and contrary court statements, as well as she can take into consideration any statements by Whitney. So hearsay is an objection when it's a conversation between two parties that's stated for the truth of the matter asserted. So it's stated to prove what the two parties are saying. Now, if there's an inconsistent statement, something they've said in court that's inconsistent, you can omit a statement in order to disprove that other statement. So that's an exception to hearsay. And the whole point is a lot of this may be hearsay. You're going to get a hearsay objection. So what I'm going to give you is the counterpoint, the way they could get this evidence into the record. She testified that Johnny supposedly hit Amber and Whitney on the stairs at Johnny's downtown penthouse. Then Whitney said she had to go live with her employer, where she had to sleep on the floor. I am that employer. That is not what I was told to be true. First, Whitney came to live in the guest room of my apartment on Wilshire Boulevard, not on the floor, but in my guest room. So, okay, this bit right here, she can tell this. This is 100% admissible. And it's painting Whitney as a liar. So here's how it goes. Miss Howell, how do you know her? Oh, I'm her employer. What other relationship did you have with Whitney? She came to live with me. When did she live with you? July 23rd. Can you tell us more about that? And then she talks about how she came to live in the guest room of the apartment in Wilshire Boulevard. And they can say this: when Whitney arrived, she was a mess. She can say that. That's not hearsay. She's looking at her, she's perceiving Whitney, and she looks bad. This is where we get into statements. Whitney told me she tried to stop her sister Amber from hitting and attacking Johnny on the stairs. Whitney said when she tried to intervene to stop Amber from going after Johnny, Amber nearly pushed Whitney down the stairs. She told me that she was worried Amber was going to kill Johnny. She told me she had endured that kind of abuse her entire life, first from her father, then from Amber, and who she said was extremely violent. She lived with me because she did not feel she could go back to live at the East Columbia building. My father reminded me this morning that I told him Whitney had moved in with me because she was terrified of her sister. So what of that could they get in? Well, this story, the story about the stairs, that's an inconsistent statement. It is inconsistent with what Whitney and Amber presented. And therefore, it's something that might be allowed in. Now, this part about the family, the father, that stuff, that might be inadmissible because it's getting down a more tenuous path of how inconsistent that statement is. Because there have been statements about the father, and apparently, they haven't all been great. Amber's history has been stated as well, so maybe that information is already out there. This may not survive a hearsay objection. But certainly the story about the stairs could potentially get in. While Whitney was living with me, she told Johnny to keep checking in to see how she was doing. And he called her sis, and I called him brother. Whitney said to me on multiple occasions that she did not know why he was staying in the relationship, nor why he was putting up with Amber's abuse. Whitney shared with me the damage endured by both her and Amber as children and the injuries she had suffered from Amber, both physiologically and physically. Whitney was devastated during this time, and my heart broke for her. Well, one thing I can see coming in here is the injuries. If she saw injuries, so literally, here's the question, Jennifer Howell. What injuries did you see on Whitney? If there are visible injuries, yeah, that's something that they can talk about. For sure. 6. When Whitney came back from New York, I believe it was for Tribeca Film Festival, the Adderall Diaries premiere, or both, she shared with me and everyone in the office that Amber freaked out, attacked Whitney, and threw a wine glass full of red wine at her in the elevator. That's, once again, if she had seen it, she could definitely testify to it. Not sure there's an inconsistent statement here. This might be hearsay. This is going to be more trouble. While Amber and Johnny were in Australia, Whitney was in the office sitting in the back with the chairs in the kitchen, loudly proclaimed, "Oh my God, she has done it. She has cut off his fucking finger." So this is a kind of excited utterance. It's just something that's kind of shouted out there. This she can testify to because she can say, "I saw Whitney sitting in the back of the chairs on this day," right? And they can connect the dots as to that was when they were in Australia, right? So on this day, she was sitting in the office. Okay, yes. And she exclaimed that. Okay, there you go. You get that part in. I knew Paige heard, Amber and Whitney's mother. Paige shared with me while I was visiting Whitney that Elon Musk had gifted a Tesla or multiple Teslas. Not sure if it was one or more, but Amber found out they were bugged. Paige told me that Amber said Elon was controlling, abusive, and that she was in a legal battle with him over rights to the embryos they had created together. Guys, this is the Amber and Elon sugar daddy relationship here. Guys, he wanted to destroy them, and Amber wanted to try to keep them to have a baby. Paige told me that Johnny was either an angel or a saint compared to Elon, and she wished that Amber and Johnny would reconcile. We're seeing this play out. I think one of the reasons they may have gone easy on Whitney, or Whitney may have gone a little bit easier on Johnny, is because maybe she hopes they'll reconcile, because evil Elon is controlling. Paige also told me the reason Johnny and Amber broke up was because Amber was violent and emotional and loved Johnny so much that she could not control it. Well, that's the problem. She was controlling. She was manipulative. That's no bueno. I was indeed taken aback by this because this conversation occurred after the divorce. And when Hunter was only a few months old and I was at Whitney's house, Whitney told me that Amber and Johnny were still in touch and that they were each other's true loves, or something to that exact sentiment. Whitney was still going through the emotions of having had a baby and all those ups and downs. And I could not believe that Johnny and Amber's relationship was being discussed while Whitney was the one who needed to be the focal point and needed our support. And so I want to stop this for a second because this is a really good point here, guys. This is a really good point. Is that it's always all about Amber, right? It's always all about Amber. By the way, Frank Hicks, thank you for becoming a member. You now have access to the soju, the toilet paper emoji, and the Adam, the Andrew emoji. It's got a cat girl, vampire girl, lots of fun emojis. There's going to be more after this, definitely more after this. I get an artist to do my emojis, so I do appreciate that y'all get to use them, right? They're damn good emojis. Got some other super chats here to catch up on. We've got one from David Riley. David Riley read that one. EY, which says, JD is victim equal right wing is strategically dumb. Labeling many left-leaning people as misogynists make them skeptical of other left doctrines and angry. Guys, look, whatever your politics are, I welcome you to this channel. I don't require you to be, right-wing or anything like that out there at all. Personally myself, I am way more of a libertarian. I believe in freedom. I believe in the truth. And I believe in people being left alone. That's personal. But this is about objectivity. This is about what is true and not true. And LawTube is great because we have people in LawTube of all different political spectrums. All different beliefs. We have people that are super religious, people that are not religious, people that are left, people that are right, people that like some things and don't like some things. But we all come together to search for the truth. And trying to say that people in this case who are seeing facts and finding a truth for themselves are all misogynist, right-wing, white nationalists is not a good look. And I'll say, in my personal opinion, I have seen this before in other areas. It is not just this trial. But it's happening here on a wide scale. Milo's 3D says, take my money, $6.99 Canadian. Zaid says, hi, left a question on Twitter, on your Twitter link for you. Okay, Zaid, I can't check my Twitter during the stream because I get way too many Twitters during the stream, but I will check them after, and I will answer your Twitter link on my next show. I will be doing a show after today. I'll be doing it after the stream, after the trial today. So I do one before, I do one after, and then I catch whatever hours of sleep I can manage. UK Tube for £4.49 said, was Amber Heard's legal team bringing up the hashtag justice for Johnny Depp hashtag the biggest own goal of the trial? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. They could not prove that was all bots at all. And it shows that people support Johnny. Bad Vibe says, missed by Obama super chat. P.S. Your nose is tiny. That's hilarious. Obama, huh? I don't know what we're doing about Obama. Let's see here. So Bad Vibe said she fired Obama's PR team. No, I actually read that one earlier, but I read it again. So Bad Vibes had a $2 super chat that said she fired Obama's PR team. Got that one right there. JK Wynn says, that was what I was saying yesterday. She had to keep it simple. She still got no damages besides her checks. JD should gift her some Maker's Mark after this. That would be a peak troll. Epic JR says, imagine the court telling the jury not to look at social media, then Amber Heard brings in witnesses that shows them the public supports JD. Huge own goal there, guys. If Crazy Turd didn't exaggerate, she'd be believable. That's a £1 super chat from Moo H. Bavarian Kingdom again says, no, it was a mega pint. Sakashi Goyal with a 179, I think it's Philippine pesos. Says, are there limits to rebuttal like leading cues? There's a rebuttal for Johnny's team. Essentially, they can only bring up new stuff, address new stuff, or call new witnesses. They can't kind of rehash old stuff, but they can counter anything that Amber's team brought up. So anything that Amber's team brought up, anything, they can rebut it. And remember, there were a lot of people on Amber's team that we said, hey, aren't they letting them off light? Isn't the cross kind of quick? That's because they're going to get it on rebuttal. Remember that time difference, guys. 18 to 8. They can literally go for 10 hours unanswered against Amber's team. That is a huge legal victory. Catherine Whitty with £1 super chat says, if that's why they asked Whitney words from this doc, they can try to ask her questions after they bring on Howell, but they will need to bring on Howell first. Isabel Jimenez says, can they introduce text between Johnny and Paige to open up the door for entering Howell's statements about what Paige told her? That might be possible. If a text between Johnny and Paige has been entered into evidence, they may be able to ask about that if there's firsthand knowledge on the hand of Howell. Guled Youssef says, not hearsay. She and the averse party beep boop. Robot emoji. Thank you. Well, there's other exceptions. There's other exceptions here. So if it's a statement that they made that's false, they can come in and counter that. That's totally on board for them being able to counter that, like 100%. So open shop, open business there. All right, so let's continue with this Howell declaration and see what the rest of this they can get in. So here we go. So 9, when Amber got into legal trouble for regarding smuggling the dogs into Australia, she asked me to write her a character reference about charity work, and I did so. So once again, this gets in. This statement gets in. It's something she's doing. So, did you help her with anything else? Yes, I helped her with her legal trouble in Australia. What did you do? I wrote her a character reference. What did you write in it? I wrote XYZ. I wrote that she was a humanitarian. I wrote that she volunteered with charity. Then she goes on to say, I am still grateful for that. I knew nothing about her personal life behind closed doors until I became close with Whitney. When Amber was in trouble with Australian authorities, she asked me to write a character letter in support of her, which I did. I wrote on behalf of Amber for her volunteering with charity. By the way, guys, check out my video on Amber Heard's perjury case. There is an active perjury case going on in Australia. An active perjury case. So literally, no clickbait titles here, guys. All my titles, there's beef behind that title. She is under investigation in Australia for perjury. And in the UK, she's also potentially in the future, they're thinking about coming after her for perjury. And odds are, if Johnny wins, the UK will come after her for perjury. Talked about that the other day as well. So perjury on the books. And remember, perjury is a criminal offense. She could see time for that if she's extradited or ever ends up in those countries. So continuing here, later, when Amber and Johnny were divorcing, $7 million of the proceeds was supposed to go to charity. I learned that none of it would be directed to the Art of Elysium, which Amber had been closely associated with for years. Instead, I understood it would all go to the ACLU and the LA Children's Hospital. I asked Amber's publicist why, when she and Amber had been so eager to use our name in the press during the divorce, and when the funds would mean so much to a small organization like ours. Would Amber direct all of the money to these two huge charities that she'd not been associated with? Amber's publicist told me that they were more prominent, with much more significant press reach and got international press. A year later, a $250,000 donation came into our organization from an anonymous donor on behalf of Amber Heard. These funds did not come from Amber. I believe this donation came from Elon. What can get in there? Okay. So what can clearly get in is a donation to her organization. So she can say there's a donation. She can say it's anonymous. This is opinion. And there may be, once again, this is a speculation. It's going to be harder to get that in over an objection. Is it possible? Technically, but not likely that this speculation will get in. But the anonymous donor, you can just fill in the blanks, right? We're leaving it open to fill in the blank about anonymous donors and let it be known that the anonymous donor is probably Sugar Daddy Musk. What else can she get in? She can get in any talk between Amber and herself. Any talk between Amber and herself. And it's possible that if they can say, okay, Amber directed the publicist to do this, that they may be able to get in the agent statement as well. So that's possible there. So it's possible to get in some of this over hearsay objections. Years later, on July 24, 2020, I received 2 subpoenas from Johnny's attorney after Whitney testified about sleeping on my floor following the stairs incident. That's all admissible. The following day, I spoke with Johnny's attorney, Adam Waldman, for the first time. This is attorney-client privilege, which is not waived here. So any actual discussion would be held back. So here's something that's probably held back. I told him the stories of my experiences with Whitney, Paige, and Amber Heard, and he asked me to give this declaration. I shared the names of the Art of Elysium staff who worked during the same time as Whitney and who also heard these things and more, and willingly gave access to my emails, texts, and to confirm dates and timelines of all stated. Actually, take that back. I'm sorry. So anything that Johnny said to Adam Waldman is protected. Anything that Whitney said to Waldman is not. Whitney is not the client. So actually, Whitney's conversation can come in. So actually, this can come in because Whitney is not a client. So there's no client privilege. So this declaration was signed the 26th of July. 26th of July there. By the way, what's up to everybody joining in the chat? Guys, please make sure you smash the like button if you like this comment. It really, 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 really helps us in the algorithm, really helps us get this message out there, and really helps us get the truth out there. Like 100%. So let me read some of these chats that came in. Potato Revan for £5 said, did you notice the year on the broken nose picture is 2015? What do you think are Johnny and Great Turd's chances of winning? I'll get to the prediction in a second. That's actually a good one. Minsky says, is Johnny Depp going to be the first witness on the stand today? Is it really confirmed? Sorry for the compound question. So Minsky, Shinlei Shah Painter on Twitter, and I'll go back to the Twitter. According to her, and so far, there's reason to believe she was in the room, even if she shouldn't have been leaking it. There's reason to believe that she did actually have this information, that she does have this information. Right here, she said Johnny Depp will be called by Amber Heard's defense on Monday, according to Court TV. So this is the source, is a reporter for Court TV. We've talked about her before, Miss Painter. Lovely young woman. And she asserts that it's going to be true. So we will see whether that's true. Now, if it happens, it's got to happen today. They only have, remember, Amber's team only has 8 hours. So if they want to spend all day on Johnny, they're going to burn all their time. So the best they have is probably about half a day, maybe at most a quarter of a day, 3/4 of a day on Johnny. That would be the most they could get. Frankly, they should probably quit at lunchtime. If they bring him on, they should quit at lunchtime and they should rest their defense. And I think that's all they've got time for. I do not think they have time for any more. And they are going to have almost no time during the rebuttal. No time at all. So I think it's a bad idea. Syed says, JD bandmate mentioned that Johnny Depp started abusing drugs in a certain year. That falls when Johnny Depp started a relationship with Amber Heard. Can this backfire at Amber Heard? Amber Heard said her sister taught JD how to snort a drug through the tampon applicator. That's exactly right, See. Thank you so much for the 10 British pounds. Ania said, does this case balance on what Virginia defines as DV in order to define defamation? EX, verbal abuse, equal abuse, as in physical abuse. Yes. Yes, it does. In this case, we're using Virginia defamation law. Virginia defamation law is both a good thing for Johnny and a horrible thing for Johnny. It's a good thing for Johnny because some of the defenses that are available in other jurisdictions are not available here. However, for defamation in Virginia, verbal abuse is considered the same as physical violence. So verbal abuse is abuse that's considered the same as physical violence. So they can actually have If there's a claim of verbal abuse, that can come in to defeat his claims on verbal abuse. The problem is sexual abuse cannot be verbal. Sexual abuse needs to be physical. And the only two physical stories we have are, one, the Maker's Mark bottle story. We've got that story, a physical attack on Amber Heard. The only witness to that is Amber Heard. We've heard no other testimony, seen no other proof or anything. The second incident is allegedly when Amber Heard was pushed to the bed during a fight. She was grabbed by the pelvic bone and was told, you feel like a man now? You're really a man? How much of a man are you? As she's being grabbed there. Once again, no witnesses, no testimony otherwise, no medical report, no therapist, no counselor, no Starbucks employee who overheard it. Nobody. So part good, part bad in Virginia. So Gulad said she admitted to have not donated fully yet. That is perjury. Yes, she perjured herself in the UK trial. The question is there a political impetus? Is there a political drive? Do the people want to actually go forward with that? And I think politically, we talked about this with Jordy, it's got to be a situation in which politically we see a win here, because they're not going to want to go after something if they think the public is in favor of Amber Heard. They're going to need the public to really be in favor of Johnny Depp to go after her for perjury. Otherwise, I think they're going to be afraid. I'm not going to lie. I think they're going to be afraid. So I think that answers that question. And I think I'm caught up there on the super chats, guys. So one thing I want to do right now is I want to check in with my good friend, Good Logic. I think he was live from the line about an hour ago. So we're going to watch some footage of him in the line. Apparently there were some Karens there. There were some other people in the line. So I'm going to pull that up for you guys. We'll watch a little bit of it. I'll stop it. I'll comment on it. But we've got a little bit of time here. Some other streams should be starting in the future, but we'll jump on and see what was going on with our good friend. Good Logic.
There we are. I don't have the cool selfie stick that DUI guy has. So this is all in I don't have it like up, like that. I don't get the same vantage point. My arm is not a great selfie stick. That's what I'm learning very quickly here. But
so Joe's a bit booming. I love Joe, but he doesn't have the selfie stick. He's got the law. So he was actually flown in. Joe was flown in by helicopter. To give you some facts. So actually some fans of LawTube flew Joe in on a helicopter, right? So they were sugar daddying for Joe. So Joe was taken on a ride. He's taken for a ride and ended up there by helicopter, which is really great, and ended up in line. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit here to where he's actually getting into the line itself, because he does kind of deal with that a little bit later here as he moves down. So we'll fast forward here to see him getting in the actual line himself.
So that would have felt like a jerk if I did that. That would have felt wrong. I'm tired though. I can kid you. 1 second.
Okay, so it gives a pause there. Hold on, let me fast forward here with Joe.
Okay, I'm okay with that definition. But having a perceiving feeling,
I think this is so early that he didn't actually stream himself with the other people like DUI guy did. Let's see if he actually gets. I think he gets in line at the end. Let's see.
Get that away.
Yes. And Farrah's coming in possibly good.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. Yep. No, everyone told me you were looking for me, so I was like,
No, because you disappeared. I don't know where you literally vanished.
I vanished.
And then you're
I'm
rematerialized.
frozen.
So literally, Good Logic went and hid around a corner to stream instead of streaming with everybody else like DUI guy did. So he was actually hiding around the corner rather than streaming with everybody else, rather than out there like DUI guy was. So he was taking a little bit different take.
I'm frozen, so I'm trying to find somewhere that there's no wind. And also, I keep being told that my audio sucks.
Walk around.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
He needs so he doesn't have, so Good Logic needs to get like a mic, like a portable mic. Like there's mics you can kind of hook up to your phone or Bluetooth your phone. So maybe if someone wants to do him a solid and like send him a mic that he can hook up easily, because using your phone raw is going to be really rough. It's going to be real rough.
What? Law number says I just need to sleep.
Don't sleep in the courtroom. That's the message.
So I guess Law Lumber said don't sleep in the courtroom. That's a good message. Even though there was somebody in the courtroom that looked like him that was sleeping the other day.
Be humiliating. If all of a sudden you just... Did they? All right. I'll keep alert. Thank you. Real Laura B. That was real Laura B. Have you guys seen real Laura B? This is real Laura B. cuddling up in her blanket here.
So I guess real Laura B also there on scene. Someone you guys can follow and check out with, in addition to all the other law tubers, DUI guy, Good Logic.
It's getting a little cool.
Hey, how are y'all?
There you go.
I know it was like 33 degrees a couple weeks ago, and I don't know why it feels so cold tonight.
It was so hot today, right?
That was it. Oh yeah, it was 95.
She has been providing coverage of this trial for how many years?
2016.
Since 2016.
Wow, that's crazy. You know, shout out to everybody who's been covering this since 2016. That's like absolutely, to me, that's absolutely insane that people have been covering this since 2016. Really insane. Really insane. And shout out to Tug, by the way. I sent a link out to Tug. I know he's got a stream that's going to start fairly soon. But, you know, Tug's been great. He's a great source on stuff. That Umbrella guy, he was cited in the courtroom. And there's such a power and such an importance to having people who are in the courtroom and who are reporting on that. And the great thing about LawTube is having people that are out there that are able to go out there and to report on that and then come back and talk to us, especially as lawyers. I do think you should get a lapel mic, though. Lapel mics are the superior mic, 100%. Minsky says, if Johnny Depp will go to the witness stand, there are 4 hours out of the window. To think they have only 8 hours remaining, lol, do you think it's a bad move to call the slowest talking guy in the witness stand? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think it's a horrible move. By the way, guys, is Tug live in the line? Wait, no, is Tug really live in the line? So let me check Tug's channel to see if he's live in the line. And check out on his channel. Good. So I've talked to Tug a lot behind the scenes as well. Great guy, and great coverage of this trial. But he's really been in it since the beginning. So it's really, really cool that he's still following this. Oh, he's not in the line. He's here. Okay, well, he's in the chat. He can join. Because he's got my link. And I know he goes live at 8:30. Yes, correct. Goes live at 8:30. So another person who was there in line and who was streaming earlier is DUI guy. Let's stop by his channel and see what he had on this, because he had some really good streams last week and has been absolutely like 100% great streaming this week. Here we go. See, DUI guy actually has high quality video. This is what we like. This is what we like here. So let me stream DUI guy, give you guys a little bit live commentary on it. Here we go. We're stream jacking right now. Look at this. They both look very professional. They look very professional. Let me turn it down a little bit. That's great. Jay's in the chat for Joe. D's in the chat for DUI guy. So you can see here, I'm going to pause this for a second. You can see how they have stickers on them. So now they're being given stickers. So they moved up from the first day it was marker on the hands. Now it's stickers. So it's kind of graduated over time. So she just asked, by the way, her question is a little low, but she just asked, in your expert opinions, who are they going to call? They're obviously going to call Johnny Depp. So let's see what they have to say here. So DUI guy's shaking his head. He thinks it's a big mistake for them to call Johnny Depp to the stand. He says too risky, even as a Hail Mary. And I'm not going to transcribe all of this, but you know, that's very important. I would agree with DUI guy. I think it's very risky. I think they're doing it, but I think it's a huge risk. So Joe's doing an examination. So remember, Joe's trying to make the best possible connection here for the counterclaims for agency. I'm going to critique him in a second, but like I'm going to listen to this. This is actually interesting. Okay, guys. So the funny thing about this is, and I'm gonna stop this here for a second so we can talk. But the funny thing about this is, oh, it's muted. Oh shit. I was muted. Sorry about that, guys. So booming here. Okay, guys. Sorry. I'm gonna rewind. Guys. Yes, I'll rewind it. I'm a fucking boomer here. Sorry about that, guys. I was so caught up with it that I forgot about it. Okay, I got it here. So essentially, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna rewind it. I'm gonna make the argument. So forget about that. I'm gonna make argument. I'm gonna make Joe's argument better than Joe made it. So Joe made this argument, and I'm going to do it better. So here's Joe's argument. Joe's argument is that you can ask Johnny Depp questions about agency by asking about his general relationship with Adam Waldman and the public statements. So here's the questions. I'm reenacting them all. I'm going verbatim, right? This is exactly what I'm doing here, guys. I got one screen set up, guys, so sometimes when I stream it, it blocks the chat. So I am sorry about that, guys. But here's the play-by-play. Here's the questions that you would ask to Johnny Depp as the attorney. So I'm the attorney. So I would say, did you have a relationship with Adam Waldman? The answer, yes. Adam Waldman was my attorney. Okay. When did you retain Adam Waldman? I retained Adam Waldman in whatever year. What did you retain Adam Waldman to do? Johnny Depp. I retained him to handle legal cases. Following question. Did you retain him to handle cases related to Amber Heard? Response, yes. Following back. Did you retain him to handle cases involving these statements, the defamatory statements, the counterclaims? Did you handle him? Did you hire him, retain him to handle these defamatory statements? The answer has to be yes. The answer has to be yes. Not protected. That's not protected yet because there's no statements. There's no attorney-client statements. There's no actual statement there. So was he retained? Why did you retain him? Going forward from that, he could ask, how did you feel about the statements? And that's what Joe said. This is literally what Joe Neerman said. How did you feel about the statements? And you could say, well, the response from Johnny, the smart response would be, well, I don't feel much of anything. And do you agree with the statements? Well, Johnny has to say, I don't rather agree or disagree. I have no feelings about it. That's what he's got to say. If he says he agrees with it, it'll look like it's his. So he's kind of got to say, I agree with it. And then the question that Joe asked was, do you think it's a hoax? Do you agree that it's a hoax? Johnny would have to answer, I have no opinion. If he answers yes, it looks a little too much like it's his statement. He could say, well, I don't believe Amber Heard, or I believe Amber Heard is lying in general. That I think he can say. But you have to say, I don't want to get behind the specific statement that it's a hoax, that it's staged. That might put him in a bad spot. So the argument is, in general, the argument Joe is making is that you try to get Johnny to endorse the statements of Adam Waldman on the stand. But here's the thing. Adam Waldman can get around it. See, guys, once again, you guys are flipping out in the chat. I'm giving you Joe's argument. Joe was making the best argument possible by Amber's attorneys to Johnny. I disagree with Joe. I think Joe is wrong. I think this is a shitty line of arguments. I think it's a horrible line of arguments. I think he should not go down that line of argument. And I actually think they should focus on the SV, the sexual violence, and try to focus on that. To be much more effective. Much more effective. So yeah, today is going to be a dumpster fire, guys. It is going to be crazy. Peters King says 10,000 people listening to Dead Air. Sorry, guys. Hey, listen, I really do apologize for that. It happens sometimes. Technology is both our best and worst friends sometimes, guys. So let me catch these super chats to make sure I got everybody here. Joe's a short guy, never knew. Love your coverage and realness. Keep up the great work. Got some no audios here. No audio from Nicole Blue, from Liz Kilmer. Thank you. Why don't they put Amber on the stand? She called all of Johnny's witnesses liars and is going to do the same to hers. That's from Karen Davies for £5. They won't call Amber because they're not going to get what they want from Amber. They're not going to get anything from Amber. Falling Outside, the normal says, who's ready for the serious finality of the best courtroom drama in history? I agree with you. I'm definitely ready for the end here. Paulina says, during the depot, Adam said he's not Johnny's friend, but his Instagram page suggests otherwise. Yes, that's very true. It's very true. Very true. Yep. So, guys, listen. Right now, there's a couple other streams going live, so I'm going to let you guys jump over there. But for now, thank you so much. Make sure you please like and subscribe. I'm actually going to get a second screen set up today, so I actually got to go buy a second screen. So I'm going to buy a second screen, get that set up, so we're all good to go here, so we're not one screening it again. But I appreciate you guys supporting. I appreciate sticking around. Guys, take care. I will be streaming on several other channels. I'll be jumping on several other channels. Until then, I'll catch you later.